and welcome back to my small little library. Today is already August TBR, which I don't know. The year is going by, like every day feels really slow, but the month feel like kind of fast, which fine, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like I can't catch up with my reading. But yeah, let's talk quickly about last month TBR. I managed to read 6 out of the 8 that I put on the TBR, and the 2 I didn't finish. I did start, but I just felt like it wasn't the right time for them, and I didn't want to DNF them, so I just put them on pause. And I will come back to them at another time, but the way I did my TBR worked actually really quite well, to just go through all of the different genres of books that I have on my TBR and just pick a few of each, and not just focus on one genre, which is something I feel like I have done quite often in the past, to just focus on one genre and then get kind of bored by the genre by the end of it. And so yeah, that is what we will do this month around as well. Okay, sorry, I feel like this is a little bit better. So yeah, let's start with the first book. The first book is called Effigies. This is, I think I have like 3 or 4 of the horror books left that I bought on eBay, where I pretty much disliked all of them up till now, all of the ones I've read so far. So yeah, this is the next one, which is called Effigies. Yeah, and it's pretty much just that hell has come to this little county called Holland County, and just things just out of the blue start going wrong and everything goes to shits, and the book is about that. So yeah, there's not really to go by from the blurb, but yeah, it has this really cool front, which I found to be really, really cool. The book has been read quite a bit, so I'm interested to see how this will go. It is by William K. Wells, with I have no idea who that is. But yeah, I don't have high hopes, but maybe this can surprise me and make up for all of the bad horror books I've read that I bought in that whole lot of old horror books, and yeah, they were mostly really not great. Then the next book is one I had already started, and I just got bored of it around the middle, and then I stopped reading it, but I kind of want to finally finish it, and that is The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I bought it because I really liked most of the fantasy by V.E. Schwab that I've read so far. But yeah, this one, I kind of got bored in the middle. I mean, it is a kind of fantasy, but I feel like obviously relationships are like the most important things in here, kind of. I mean, you probably know what it's about. If you don't know what it's about, the main character of this book is Eddie LaRue, and she makes a deal with the devil to kind of live forever, but people can't see her because of that. So she lives a kind of weird existence, and then at the beginning of the book, she meets somebody, I think at a bookstore or at a cafe, who can see her, and then from there the book goes on, and we get like flashbacks, current times, flashback, current times, it's a book like that. But yeah, the focus is really heavily on like the relationships and the feelings of the characters and stuff like that. Things I don't particularly love in books, but yeah, I bought it because I loved all of her other books, and so I wanted to support her and bought this on release day in this really, really nice edition. And I have not finished reading it yet, so this needs to be read in the next month, or DNF'd if I can't get through it, because it's too long on my shelves. Then we have another fantasy, but that is more like full-on fantasy, and that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I have this book for a long time now. I bought it. I don't think it was from a book box. Yeah, I bought it because it was really, really popular, and a lot of people talked about it, and then I never got around to read it. I just kind of forgot that it was on my shelves. I don't know a lot about this book, so I can't really tell you much, but I think a lot of people have already read the series. I think it's a trilogy, but yeah, I kind of want to finally read it, so yeah, I thought, why not give it a try. That's the case for a lot of books, on my TBR, books that I bought obviously because I wanted to read them, and then I kind of forgot that they are on my shelves, so what can you do? Then we have the next Clive Cussler book, and that is White Death, which is the next book in the Numa Files series. It is book number 4 and the third one that I will have read. And it is also a Kurt Austen adventure, something that I just realized taking the books out. I have read Fire and Ice, which is also a Kurt Austen adventure, and then I have read Race the Titanic, which is actually a Dirk Pitt adventure, but they all are from the Numa Files, so I don't really know how the distinction between the series is for that. But yeah, I don't know what this is about other than that it's obviously set in the ocean. Numa is an agency that helps bring shipwrecks and stuff back up, or like just search for survivors and help in sea emergencies and stuff like that. And it's pretty much like a mixture of like science and military thrillers, at least the two I've read so far, and mostly we have American versus Russia. So that is what the other 2 books were pretty much about, so I'm expecting this to not be that different. It doesn't have a blurb on the back, so I don't know what it's about. But yeah, I will let myself be surprised, Then we have another one that I think is a horror book. This is The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry. I've read the Alice series, the first 2 books so far. This one is technically the first one by her I bought, but I've never read it so far. I also don't really know what this is about, other than that the main characters are, I think, teenagers. So yeah. And it has something to do with the main character seeing a body get dragged into the wood and then thinking that a monster is living there. I really hope that it's in the same vein as the Alice series by her, which is fantastic, 5-star read series, where it's a horror retelling of Alice in Wonderland. And so I hope that this one goes into the same direction with the same brutalness, but still kind of whimsical feeling that the Alice and Red Queen gave me. So yeah, I hope that it is similar, but I don't know, because this one I don't think is a retelling, but the Alice series obviously is, so this I think might be just like a story she imagined herself. But yeah, we'll see. I have high hopes for this one. Then we're coming to the last of the Stephen King books I own that I still haven't read, and I do need to continue with the Dark Tower series. I have to say I'm not looking forward to it that much, because I tried reading this one already and it was just really crazy, to be honest. So yeah, I will give it another try, because I do want to get through the series, because I own 4 other books from the series that I still need to read. So we have to make some progress. So yeah, hopefully I will get through the drawing of the 3, which is the second part in the Dark Tower series by Stephen King, which is a weird Western fantasy mixture, kind of. At least the first one had like a big Western aspect. I do know this one goes over into the normal world and the kind of fantasy world in which this plays out. So yeah, I do also know that there are kind of like, there are a lot of weird things happening in these books. I don't know if I like love them or hate them. I did enjoy the first one, but I'm still not sure if the series is for me. But I do have the goal of at some point reading all of Stephen King's books, so I will have to continue with those, and I do kind of want to have it read, so yeah. And then we have 2 books left. The second to last is The Summons by John Grisham. I did read a John Grisham book for the first time, I think 2 months ago, and I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I did enjoy the concept of his books. So I own like 7 other ones by him. I always collected them, I never read them, so I have no idea if I will actually like them. So yeah, in this book, The Summons, we have an old judge who kind of lives really secluded now and doesn't have a lot of contact outside of his own little estate, pretty much, and he calls his 2 sons to summon them to his estate to talk to them about what will happen once he dies. But then he dies before they can actually talk to one another, and there seems to be a big, scary, dark secret that one of these sons knows but not the other, and this is the story about that. So I'm really interested to see how that goes. The other one that I've read by him was inspired by a true story, so it was a little bit different on that aspect, but hopefully I will enjoy that. I did like his writing style. I think the other one was just too near true crime, but not distinct enough to make it like really clear that it was a novel. So I think that one was the biggest problem with the other one. This one is obviously like just a novel, and I do like me a good mystery thriller. So hopefully that is what I will get with that one. And then we have the last book that is on my TBR, and that is Heroes of Olympus, The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. This is the second one in the second Percy Jackson series, pretty much. Only that here Percy Jackson isn't one of the main characters, at least in the first one, not. Here we have pretty much Greek and Roman gods both playing a part. So yeah, I didn't love the first one for weird relationship reasons that are in these books, but they are always in Rick Riordan's books, I feel like. So I feel like I just have to look past that and enjoy the book for the other stuff that is coming up here. Also, I feel like we get like the Medusa's sisters in here because they are on the front of this. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this continues, because obviously they are good books. Like, I feel like they're really, really good teenager novels, and I've never read them as a teenager, so I'm kind of like catching up now as an adult. And I do enjoy the mythology of these books. It's just, I find it weird, like, having teenagers in, like, triangle relationships and stuff like that. I just find that weird, you know. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. So those are all of the books that I have on my TBR. I technically have 2 more on the TBR, but I won't get them in a little bit later, because I do get my last fantasy Lumicrate this month, and then I do also get the horror book box should come at the beginning of this month. So I should get 2 more books, and my plan is to read them as fast as I can so they don't collect dust with the rest of the book books that I haven't read yet. So the plan is to also read those 2. So 10 books in total might not be the most realistic thing. I think I'm averaging 2 books a week at the moment. So realistically, I will read 8 of the 10. But hopefully it will be of those books that I laid out and not other ones for my TBR, because that is what I'm doing right now again and again, like laying books out that I feel like I want to read and then still pulling out of my shelf. But yeah, that is kind of what you can look forward to content-wise when it comes to books for the next month. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little TBR video, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.